everybody! So, we're here with an interview that we wanted to do at Gencon, but unfortunately, due to how hectic everything was, didn't quite have the time for it.
It was a little nuts.
Yeah, no kidding. Gencon was amazing, but whoo boy. Today, we are here with Drew from Norse Foundry. You might remember Drew or Norse Foundry from a live stream we did a little bit back, the Delta Green live stream, where we did a giveaway of some awesome dice, and Drew was kind enough to give out coupon codes to everybody who attended the stream. And today we're just going to be talking to Drew and asking about Norse Foundry, and I think they've got a Kickstarter going on too. So, hello, Drew. How are you? And
hey there, guys. Good. I'm doing great. I'm one of the co-founders of Norse Foundry, and I'm doing pretty well. Just recovering from Gen Con, just like you guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you manage to dodge the legendary con crud?
Oh, I don't think that there's any way to dodge that. I mean, it was a failed test the entire time. I from when I got there to when I got back. So.
Yeah, I feel that personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually just recovering like now, where I feel back to normal, like where I can actually do things, operate.
Well, thank you for coming on in the midst of recovery.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Yeah, of course. So, as many people know, you are a big part of Norse Foundry, and we just had a couple questions about your dice company because it's super cool.
Yeah, by all means.
Something that I was pretty curious about is how did you get started? What was like what got you into making these like metal dice? It's
actually really funny how that we got started. Is one of my local buddies owned a gaming store, and he always had these really nice set of metal dice that he got way back when, like 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. And he always struggled being able to find somebody that would be able to provide him with metal dice. And this is back in late 2011, early 2012. And he always, couldn't find them. And, he had people that ask about them all the time. So I said, well, let me see what I can find out. I do import exports and see if I can do something about this. And we literally brought in like 60 sets max. And I mean, this is a small store in, Fort Myers, Florida. Not a huge gaming population like in Indianapolis or Seattle or, any of those bigger areas. But I brought them in and everybody loved them. And so we brought in some more colors and what have you. And then after a little while, it just got to the point where I was like, well, let me see, if other people have, this interest in metal dice and have this problem getting metal dice. And sure enough, it appeared that there was a niche in that market that people needed a resource to be able to get metal dice because they were so limited at the time. So that's when we started making metal dice, and then now we're making Gemstone Dice, and we're trying to...
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're trying to do some like new things. We've got some like custom metal dice that we're coming out with, hopefully at the end of the year or beginning of 2017. And then we're trying to do some, really cool stuff with this Kickstarter we're doing too.
Yeah. I've got more questions about the Kickstarter in a bit, but something that I've always wondered is one of the things that rather my first introduction to Norse Foundry was the Boulder. What brought that about? And for everybody at home, what is the Boulder in your own words?
Okay, well, the best way that I like to describe it is it's 45 millimeters of pure metal. It's about a half a pound of pure metal. I like to call it a intimidation test without the test. It's just pure intimidation. There's a lot of companies out there that made the plastic ones that were 35 millimeters. They're nice. I wanted something that, you picked up and people just feared,
that you could
for themselves. Yeah. So, I mean, that's how we made it. And it took a little while to get done because it was never done before.
Yeah.
We made all brand new molds for it. After a couple $1,000s of molds and what have you, that's when the Boulder was pretty much created. I love it. It thunks the table. It will destroy any table that you
It will destroy
roll it
any
on.
glass table.
Yeah, any glass table, wooden tables is not nice too. And we specifically have a warning label on the back of the box that specifically mentions wood, glass tables, and any people or persons you may care about.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's a force to be reckoned with, to be completely honest. And that's exactly what we were going for. I mean, it's a gimmick dice. It really is. It's balanced, as just as balanced as all of our other metal dice.
Yeah. So
Is it
can
really
be
practical
legitimately
to roll?
used.
Yeah, you can legitimately use. Is it really practical to roll on a uncovered wooden table or glass table? Probably not. But it's a lot of fun to roll.
It's not about the practicality, though.
Exactly. It's about having fun with it. And
Yeah.
that's really what we wanted to do, was just to have something that people could have fun with. And, when you're DMing, you could pull that dice out and people just know you mean business.
Just have it sitting there ominously by your side.
Yep,
Players just glancing furtively at it like, oh my god, when's he going to use it?
Exactly.
Gotta love that comical 7 set where it's like 6 plastic ones and then the boulder sitting next to it. I have a friend who does that.
Nice. And let's see. I actually, you mentioned that you're getting into Gemstone Dice. That you usually do metal dice. What kind of Gemstone Dice are you like? Do you
we've actually done we have done Gemstone Dice actually for the last I want to say at least a year or two. We're switching how we do the Gemstone Dice. We used to do Gemstone Dice where the numbers were printed on.
Okay.
And they're really nice, for that reason, because they're printed on, so it doesn't really mess with the integrity of the stone. But what we found out was that, and everything we make, we want it to be gamer-friendly pricing, and just gamer-friendly in general.
Yeah.
So what we found was with those numbers is that a lot of times when people didn't use like a mat or something nice and it's scratched up against like a plastic table, which most gamers are playing at their friendly local game store for the most part, unless you're playing a home game or something. But those numbers would start to scratch off. So what we've done now is engraving. You really can't do that without chipping and damaging the stone. So what we've moved to is sandblasting, which is pretty much, it's like a natural process where the sand just starts to erode away the numbers. And then that, it's very specific, like an airbrush, where it's just shooting sand against the stone to kind of knock away the stone.
Wow.
Which doesn't affect the stone, and it allows the numbers to give a very similar to what engraving is without cracking the stone. So that's what we switched to, and we found that people are actually like that a lot better, just because they hold up more. And when you pay, $60-something for a set of Gemstone Dice, you don't want the numbers to scratch off or what have you, and have to go replace them yourself. These are going to last you as long as you take care of them. They're going to last you forever.
Nice. And you've actually mentioned a couple different times, just like some on the technical side of things. I'm curious. Do you guys have like your own forge that you're hammering away on to make these dice, or?
We use partners shops and partners that actually make our dice. We pretty much outsource a lot of the work to it. They know a lot better than we do on how to actually make this stuff. So we trust their judgment on that. I actually have a buddy of mine that's overseas that handles everything for us.
Nice.
At the factories that we choose to do business with. And, we're in full compliance with all FLA, the Fair Labor Association laws and what have you. Yeah. So that's really important to us, is that we're not using sweatshops or child labor. Everything that's on the up and up, clean working environments, fair wages, all that stuff. So, we want to take care of the people that are doing the stuff for us. And we also want to take care of gamers. And really, we just want to have fun with this. I mean, that's what the whole business is about.
All right. Last question I have before I pass it off to Jay
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you ever been able to? All right, I guess it's a two-parter. A, are the dice hot once they come out of the mold? And B, have you ever been able to roll a hot dice? Like, this is just important to me for a mental image.
Okay, so yes, they are hot when they come out of the mold. I mean, they're heated. All the metal's pretty much heated, and then it cools. So they are still going to be hot when they come out of the when they come out of the mold. But I have never touched a hot die. No hot potato here. Sorry.
All right, dang. I was wondering if anybody's ever rolled a die hot off the presses. That's a strong mental image to me.
I haven't. There might be somebody that has. I could ask my buddy if he has, and I'll get back to you about that.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's an idea. Have a video of somebody with like a smelter's glove on rolling a red hot die and then just upload.
That would be actually pretty awesome now that I think about it.
Right? See?
Yeah.
It's a
awesome.
very strong image, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so those are all the questions I have for now.
Yeah.
Jay, did you have any that you wanted to toss Drizzle?
Yeah. Mine are more matters of curiosity. We've talked about the Boulder, we've talked about the Gemstone Dice. Like, of your entire catalog, is there anything in particular that you'd pick out as like fun or flashy for a gamer who's trying to just jump in and get something nice?
Just trying to get something nice. I mean, one of my personal favorites right now, we just came out with. It's called Crocodile Jasper. It's kind of like green. It's a green die.
Is it a gem?
It's a gem. It's a jasper. It's a green die with these black markings.
Cool.
It's really, really nifty.
That sounds
kinda,
awesome.
Yeah, it kind of looks like a crocodile. Like if you look at it a little bit, then that's where the name comes from. That's really cool. I really like. I do really like her Precision series, which is the aluminum set, the 6061. If you like the Boulder and you've got a budget, the tungsten dice, which I showed you guys at Gencon.
Yeah. Those looked so cool.
Yeah, they're awesome. They
Add some
are
power.
ridiculously heavy.
Yeah.
So, tungsten dice go perfect with your Boulder because they both are all really, really freaking heavy.
I don't know why that's so appealing to me. Like the weight in the dice.
It's important though.
Yeah.
It's something
primal.
about that thud and the clink, clink, clink. When the die's rolling, or
It's something you gotta feel. You can't really explain it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the shake at the table. It's the sound. It's there's something really appealing to that for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think that's really why D&D's really made a resurgence over the years, and other RPGs have made a resurgence over the years.
We're kind of in the golden age of tabletop RPGs right now.
Yeah, I would say so, for sure. And I think what it is people just, there's something to be said about getting around with a bunch of your buddies and playing a tabletop RPG versus sitting at a computer and just hitting the keys around a few times, and something about your imagination and just working your brain really. A lot of MMOs don't really make you think, whereas D&D you get challenged, and you get challenged to play a game that makes you think outside the box. Another great game, Shadowrun.
Shadowrun is
and that's like
complex.
Epic. And it's epic because I will play a game of Shadowrun, which for people that aren't interested in it or haven't played it before, uses primarily D6s. Actually, I think all they use is D6s now I think about it, but it literally is a game where you are trying to either pull off a heist or trying to track down somebody in this futuristic world that has all kinds of creatures and things going on. And it's really a theater of the mind game, at least every time I've played it, where you're not using a board like you are in D&D, and you have this guy standing here and this guy standing here, and you're like, okay, I'm going to shoot the guy to the left, but it's very theater of the mind.
Yeah. I personally haven't played Shadowrun yet, but we've had a guest on a couple times, Brennan Williams, Great Black Otaku, who is, as far as I know, an avid fan of Shadowrun and has spoken quite fondly of it.
Same thing with Mike.
Oh, really? Mike's played it too?
Yeah, Mike's a big fan as well. Like the going back to the earlier uh, comparison of tabletop games to theater of the mind, it's sort of like what we're working through is a cooperative story, and the better your props, the better your story is going to be. That could be anything from dice to like, well, what you bring to the table. So having cool dice does sort of actually help excite the storytelling, in my
Yeah,
case at
for
least.
sure.
Yeah,
Hard to
that's-
mistake enthusiasm.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I did for. I don't know. I like everything to fit a style or a theme. So for a character I play, Ash, I have some dice that are like green, sort of fitting her color style.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, I hate to cut it short. But
We got to talk about the
yeah,
Kickstarter.
the Kickstarter. You
Yeah.
recently launched a Kickstarter, didn't you?
Yeah, we've been up for about a week as of yesterday.
Oh,
We're
nice.
at like 95, 96%, so we're like right at that edge
Right
right
there.
there. We still have like 23 days left, which is
Oh, man.
over 3 weeks. So I'm pretty sure it's going to fund. I'm hoping it's going to fund with only 4% left.
That would be. Oh, that would be a bummer if it didn't. I will make sure it funds if it's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, I mean, I would love for it to hit 100% today. That would be awesome, especially with three weeks left. We've got some awesome stretch goals. You guys, I know, saw the dice. I showed you guys
Yeah,
the dice at
yeah.
Gencon. And
They
then
were
you guys
super
saw
pretty.
one of the stretch goals, which is the sugar bomb, which is one of my
Yeah.
personal favorites.
Which one was that?
It's the pink and silver one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta say, I respect anyone who can really get into a nice pair of pink dice. Pink dice are my
Yeah,
favorite.
a nice pair of pink dice called Sugar Bomb. That's
Yeah, sugar
that's
bomb.
fantastic.
My wife came up with it, and like she said it, and I was like, "That's an amazing name."
Yeah.
So we just went with it. I mean,
Nice.
yeah. So we're hoping to unlock all of these. I mean, a lot of people like the Kraken, which is
Yeah.
a lot of different multiple colors there with like some purples and stuff in it.
Yeah.
Really cool die. And a lot of people like the Demon's Blood, which is unlocked as of
the black and red.
the black and red.
Yeah.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, all of
pers-
these are really,
might-
really pretty.
We might need to
Yeah.
give Matt some of those.
My personal favorite is the very first stretch goal, the nautical demise.
Yeah.
Really nice
Yeah.
combination
Oh,
of greens.
Yeah, the nautical demise. It's perfect for like your sea like adventure. I picture like when we were talking about dice and rolling dice. I always try to kind of match my dice to my characters. I kind of do what you guys were talking about, where you match things to your characters. But the nautical demise, like definitely, I could see me playing like a Savage Worlds game, where where you're like pirates, on the
Yeah.
nautical seas.
Yeah.
Or I also play Guild Ball, which is a tabletop game. And those colors just match the Fisherman's Guild perfect. So
Stop by Gencon. That's a wonderful game.
yes, it is. It's a great game. If anybody's, it's a UK game, but it's really taking off in the States, and it's awesome.
I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, it's really cool if you like tabletops, and it only requires 6 to 8 miniatures tops. 8 is like professional, like
Oh, good.
professional tournaments. So it's
Good.
like
Yeah.
6 figures tops, and you're good to go.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
As far as the Wondrous Dice go, your new Kickstarter, is there what material are they made out of?
They're all made out of the 6061 aircraft grade aluminum. So
They
it's
could survive
pretty.
a plane crash.
I don't know if they could
Don't let 'em
survive a
test
plane
that.
crash. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things going on with a plane crash, especially fuel and explosions.
That's true.
So there's a lot going on there. I don't know if I'd go that far, but they're very durable dice. They're going to hold up. Very light compared to the metal dice and like tungsten, what have you. And they're a lot more easier on your tables. They're not going to ding up your tables as bad as like our regular RPG sets are, or your tungsten dice or your boulders. Lighter, they're going to roll, they're going to bounce a little bit more. They're going to have a little bit more bounce in their step, and they're also anodized. And these are actually, it's a new process that we've kind of worked together with our anodizer and our shop that they are actually going to take the dice and they get anodized once, and then a second color gets applied to them, and the second color is kind of random based off the machine. The machine just kind of shoots colors onto the dice, so you have random spots everywhere and random swirls and what have you.
That's
and then
cool.
yeah,
So no
and
two sets are the same?
exactly. So they're all unique.
Nice.
So your set's going to be different from my set, and nobody's really going to ever have the same dice, and they're not going to match. They're not, they're all going to be different and unique to themselves.
Nice.
Which I think is, for a game like D&D where all these characters are so unique, I think that's actually really fitting.
Yeah, it's also nice to know that like yours is the only one. Like,
right.
As much as people get called out for being like, "Oh, you just want to be a special snowflake," I totally want to be a special snowflake.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's very similar to like a Gemstone Dice, where all of them have different swirls and imperfections in them.
Yeah.
But the nice part about these versus the Gemstone Dice is the Gemstone Dice, I can't tell you that they're precise because of impurities in the stones and rocks and formations that come into the stones over a natural period of time. These are actually made from 1 inch by 1 inch cubes that are shot down. It's like lasered down by a CNC machine, which cuts it like pretty precisely to the point of almost perfection. I say almost because, really can anything ever really be quote unquote perfect? But I mean, these are so precise, and you just like once you see them, you just know how much detail and effort went into making these CAD drawings that our shop did. That was brilliant work. And when you roll them and you see the randomness of the rolls, you just know that they're truly there where you're getting the best randomization that you can for dice, which some people like and some people don't. Yep, and they're sharp edged.
Yep, I think I've got a set from Norse Foundry that is sharp edged, and I used the D4 to open a package. Maybe not the best for the sharp edge, but they are truly sharp edged.
Yeah, they second as caltrops.
Yeah.
If you I don't recommend using them as caltrops, but they could second as caltrops.
Right. Well, nice. Well, thank you so much for the interview, Drew. It was awesome talking to you.
Not a problem, guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Yes. And do you have any, aside from the Kickstarter, do you have anything you wanted to like shout out really quick?
Not really. I mean, the Kickstarter, is on there. You could look for Wondrous Dice on Kickstarter, or we also have like a quick link, which is norsefoundry.com/Kickstarter.
Nice.
So you could go to that. Really quick, easy, so I don't have to give you a long link. That makes no sense.
It'll be down in the description.
Yeah, it'll be in the description.
Yeah, and we're kind of looking forward to doing some more things with you guys, and
awesome.
Possibly. And then we also have some really, really cool dice that are coming out soon. And once I have a few more prototypes, maybe I'll leak them to you guys. You guys can take a look.
Well, that's exciting.
That's extremely exciting. Yeah. Well, thank you, Drew. A pleasure as always.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Farewell,
thanks, guys.
everybody. Yeah, no problem. Bye.